Thanks for checking out this video. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Okay, now we get into the fun ones here because the worsts, okay? So the worst television announcer was won by Booker T. Second place, Pat McAfee. And then Jim Ross, Excalibur, Daddy Magic, etc., etc. So here's the thing with Booker T, everybody. Okay? There honestly aren't really bad announcers anymore, for the most part, okay? Everyone's either fine to good. Booker T is one of those guys where when he's on, he adds a great deal of entertainment to the show for me, okay?
Yes.
But when he is off,
it's even more entertaining for me.
He can actively ruin the show, okay?
Well.
And there's nobody else on this list. Maybe McAfee sometimes. Sometimes McAfee gets a little nutty. But, like, you know, Jim Ross never actively ruins a show for me. Excalibur never actively. Daddy Magic, Corey Graves, Shivani. Cole, a little bit. I'm like, dude, come on, brother.
Cole?
He still bothers me here and there. But, I mean, Booker is the only one who really can actively ruin the show. So I'm fine with him winning worst television announcer, but there are days, everyone, when he is the best television announcer. But it just depends on who, what, when, where, why, and how.
I am greatly entertained by Booker T.
And we had the best major wrestling show, which, you know, these bests and such, it's like this is what everyone is using to justify their hatred of AEW or WWE winning awards. So AEW Revolution won the best major wrestling show. WrestleMania won the second. So, you know, there were a lot of AEW shows on this, but there were 3 WWE shows in the top 10. There was a Stardom show there. So, you know, there were a lot of good shows last year from all companies. And, you know, AEW had more in the top 10, but it wasn't like nobody else had a great show. And that brings us to the worst major show, which, again, you know, people bring up, oh, well, how come WWE had some? Well, because you have to vote for the worst show. Now, Triple Mania ran away with it. Triple Mania on April 27th, 485 votes. That actually might have been a legitimately bad show. But, like,
might?
You know, a lot of these shows, WWE Crown Jewel, SummerSlam, King and Queen of the Ring, Survivor Series. Dude, I was at Survivor Series. Like, dude, I was there, okay? Survivor Series this year, that wasn't a bad show. I had a great time at Survivor Series. Thought it was a good show. But you have to vote for X number of worst shows.
Well, here's the thing, too. I abhor the Saudi shows. I hate them, and I don't watch them. But here's the thing. If you don't like the concept, then you don't watch. But to me, I doubt people are voting that way. They're voting for the fact that it's in Saudi Arabia as opposed to probably it being the worst show because, from all what you talked about and what we've, you know, the reviews of those shows, they weren't that bad compared to some of these other ones.
Well, I want to do one more category after the break because I just got to talk about it. Back in a moment, Observer Live. See, this last one here, I've been watching wrestling for a long time, brother. Worst match of the year, the winner was Jimmy versus Jey Uso at WrestleMania.
Wait a second.
Stop, okay?
Really?
This is a classic example of WWE's like the biggest promotion. This was the biggest show. This match was a disappointment. It doubled second place. If you want to call it
biggest disappointment, that's fine.
Yes, this was nowhere near this was a 8-minute below average match, maybe a star and a half, whatever. It was not the worst match of the year.
Watch that Triple Mania show.
Not only that, bro. Number 2 here, Kota Ibushi and Naomichi Marufuji. Brother, dude, that match was horrific. Absolutely god-awful, freaking atrocious. Everybody involved profusely apologized for it.
Literally.
That match was terrible, okay? Terrible. And I know Like, I saw matches, they were admittedly rare. But, hey, no, there was actually...
Didn't you wrestle this year?
AEW shouldn't have the worst match, but don't you guys remember that House of Black? Remember the House of Black, and it was like Commander?
Yes.
Dude, that match was horrible.
It's hilarious.
But somehow Jimmy versus Jay at WrestleMania won the worst match of the year. Come on. I saw matches in NXT that were like, I mean, come on. Terrible.
Hey, look. Hey, if you're out there and you can get a podcast out of us talking about this or Dave, the awards, go ahead. Make some content and do your thing about it. But if you're actually really hurting about these things, I don't know what to tell you. There's a big world out there. Go get you some of it, please.
And also, worst gimmick, the learning tree. Come on.
Well, I was right.
Did you guys watch the story of the Heritage Cup in NXT in 2024 and 2025? That's the worst thing ever in the history of wrestling, I've decided. The Heritage Cup. Are you one of those youngsters today who listens to Spotify? I don't even know what it is. But I do know this. All of our podcasts are available at Spotify. You can head up right now and sign up. The easiest way to do so, f4wonline.com/Spotify. And for just $9.99 per month, you can listen to 84 podcasts on any given month. 84! 2 to 3 podcasts every single day covering pro wrestling and mixed martial arts. And if you think about $9.99 per month, that's just pennies per day. So check it out today on Spotify. That's f4wonline.com/Spotify. f4wonline.com/Spotify.